Hey, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a video on the HULTAFORS heavy duty knife, also known as HULTAFORS GK. Been using this knife for quite a while now, out in the bush, and it's held up very well, keeps its edge very well, and I think it's about time that I did a review on it. So I'll start off by saying some of the specifications for the knife. There it is. Alright, so the blade length is 94mm in length. The blade steel is a Japanese carbon steel. I'm pretty sure it's SK5, but it's pretty hard to really find out what it really is. I'm pretty sure it is SK5. Not that it really matters, it's carbon steel, so that's all you really need to know. It's got a hardness of 58 to 60. The thickness is 3mm thick, with an overall length of 222mm. The handle is made of a green polypropylene. It's hard to say. So it's not really a rubbery handle. It's more plasticky. It's like a Mora knife. I'll get into that in a bit. The sheath is also the same as what the handle's made out of, the polypropylene. I can't even say it properly, but that's pretty much just the same stuff. It's just a hard type of plastic. And the weight of the sheath is 116 grams, and the knife itself weighs 147 grams. Don't hold me to it if I'm wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's what I found on the internet. And it's also made in Sweden as well, so if you know Mora knives, they are also made in Sweden too, so it's pretty nice. With these knives, they put it onto a leather strop as well, to finish up the edge on it, so that's really nice that they do that. I put it on the leather strop more recently, so it may be a little bit more shinier than how it would come when you guys get it, if you were to get it. But yeah, it's held up really well though. It kind of just looks like a bait knife, but you really have to hold it in your hands to feel the true quality of it. It's a really heavy duty knife as it's cold. Let me show you here. You can see there, heavy duty knife. And it holds true to its name, that's definitely for sure. So there's the branding on the handle. There's nothing on that side. When I got it, it came with this little mark just there. It just looks like where the mold has ended for the handle, but that's not really any big deal. It hasn't got any worse or anything, but just so I should point that out. So that little mark was there, no big deal. Try and get in closer to show you. As you can see, it says carbon steel with the brand beside it. And mine's got a little bit of rust on it, not a whole much. The edge is a little bit scratched up, but that's just because I've been using it a lot and I've sharpened it quite a few times. There's nothing on the other side of it. So there's that. Let me just zoom back out. Comparison against the Mora knife. Let me just get it out. Here's the sheath for the Mora knife. As you can see, not much to it, it's just basic, just plastic. I'm sure there's a specific name for the plastic they use, but I just call it plastic, as it's pretty much what it is. But yeah, this is the Mora Pro knife. It's the newer edition from Mora. But yeah, this is just a comparison, like side by side against it. Let me just try and get this in frame. So as you can see, it's pretty much a copy of that knife, but I think this brand has been out for longer than Mora has. I'm not too sure though. But the handle on here is just like a solid plastic, but on the Mora knife you get like a much better grip. It's got like a rubbery coating around here, and then the blue part's plastic, so the blue part on this knife pretty much feels like the same stuff as what's on the HULTAFORS knife. So just trying to get it in focus because these blades are so shiny. It's a bit hard to get on camera because of the lighting I have in here. But yeah, that's just a comparison against it. It's pretty much the same, pretty much in every way of that, but just so I should show you that it's pretty much the same of it as it. And the sheath is, it's got like a little hole here, so you can like put it on a lanyard and stuff. It says the branding there. It's got a little draining hole. Can't get it in frame properly, but oh, there you go. So there's a hole and there for draining. It's exactly like what the Mora knife has, as you can see. So the draining hole is probably more a good thing to have on this knife, as it is carbon steel. But I don't keep my knife oiled, but sometimes I oil some of my carbon steel knives. Like the one that's behind it, the Rat 7, I usually keep oil on that. But this doesn't really seem to rust that quickly anyways, so it's not really a big deal. Plus these are pretty cheap as well. They're like Mora knives, they're not expensive, they're all around the same price range. But yeah, you can just see though, like the thickness of it. It's pretty thick. Let me just get the Mora back out and I'll try and show you side by side. So you can see it's much thicker than what the Mora is. You can definitely feel it in the weight of the knife. It's pretty heavy. The Mora just feels like more of a bait knife. This one more feels like a more heavy duty knife, as it says in the name, like I said before. It's pretty much the same but more sturdier and a nicer steel in my opinion. Carbon steel I like better than stainless steel really. But yeah, so back to the sheath. So the sticker that's on it, I left that on to show you what's on it. So that's the sticker, and GK for the model. It's got this part here, it's for a belt. You can put a belt through there. You can, let me just try and get this off. It's got two clips on the back, as you can see there, and it just pops open like that. This part here, they say that you can carve that off with a knife to put it on your belt better, but that grips your belt like far too tightly and it doesn't really work out. So if you were to get it, you're best just to shave off that little piece of plastic that's standing up there, and that way you're not going to really break the hinge part of it. So I'll probably do that in a bit later. Actually take that off because it doesn't really fit on my belt at all. This circle here is so you can put it on a button, like on your clothing, like on your top or on your pants. The military issue pants that I have actually fits the button in there quite well, and then you just like slide it up. And yeah, the button doesn't really stay in with that little notch in there, so I'll definitely be taking that little notch out. I don't really see much point of it unless you had a super skinny belt, but the last thing I want to do is be breaking off that end part, just trying to wedge it on, so that bit's definitely going to come out. But yeah, it just clips in just like that. And yeah, there's nothing really much to the sheath, it's just a piece of plastic. But yeah, I've been using this out in the bush for quite a while now, and yeah, I've been really happy with it. It's been a really nice knife. The blade's still completely solid inside of the handle. I've used it quite a lot, and it had more scratches on it, but I just put some polishing compound on it and I tried to clean it up a bit, and it looks pretty much new now. There's just a couple of scratches along the edge part here, but that's no big deal. It's a cheap knife, I don't really mind. I got better knives to use if I wanted to, but yeah, this is just a good knife just to bring around the bush, especially if you lose it. You know, it's not going to really be a big deal if you lose it, so no big deal right there. So yeah, it's just thought I should show you guys that this is the knife that I use sometimes out in the bush. It's very similar to a Mora knife, but in my opinion it's probably a lot stronger. As you can see there, the thickness, like I showed you before, it's really thick. It's a really nice knife, and you really have to hold it in your hands to feel the weight of it. Like, it doesn't look like a heavy knife, but comparing against the Mora knife, this is actually quite a lot heavier. So if you're doing some light backpacking or hiking, you'd probably stick with the Mora, but this isn't that much heavier, but just so I should mention that because it is heavier. So yeah, that's not really a big deal of the weight, but it's in my opinion, it's better to have a heavier knife anyways. It feels a lot sturdier in your hands. You get a nice grip on it too, even though it doesn't have the rubber coating. Just the shape of the handle is like really nice, and when you've got to get up close to things, it works pretty well. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. I just wanted to show you guys that this knife exists for the people that didn't know. It's a really good knife. I'd highly recommend it. If you were to choose a Mora or this, I would probably choose one of these. They go for pretty much the same price really, just depending on where you live really. Like here in Australia, shit's a lot more expensive, so I paid a lot more for this than what I should have really. But I really wanted to get it just to test it out and see what it's all about. I saw a couple of videos on YouTube of this knife, and it seemed to be pretty good. I saw one guy that's just wedging it into a tree and just hammering it with a hammer, and he pulled it out and it was completely fine. So yeah, the rare few have actually broken it, but it's extremely hard to try and break it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I just really wanted to show you guys that this is the knife that I use and that this brand exists. It's a really good brand. It is made in Sweden, just like the Mora knife, so pretty much the same quality. It's really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Alright, so thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for the people that have subscribed. Keeps me motivated and wants me to keep making more videos for you all. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers, guys.